Hello guys, welcome to the YouTube channel of LawPutra. Today's topic is the difference between the Dayabhaga Coparcenaries and the Mitakshara Coparcenaries. In Hindu law, all the thoughts are divided mainly on the basis of two schools. The main schools of thoughts are Mitakshara and Dayabhaga. The Mitakshara school of thought is based on the Yajnavalkya Smriti, which is interpreted by the Vijneshwara. This school of thought is applicable all over India except the West Bengals and the Assam. In the school of thought, the law of inheritance was followed according to the principle of the nearness of the blood relation. The Hindu Succession Act 1956 was also based on the same principle. The allocation of the paternal property was accorded on the rule of possession by birth, which meant that the son of the family had exclusive right by birth in the property of the joint family, while the daughters of the family owned no such right. This rule of allocation was known as the doctrine of survivorship. This basically meant that the property should be allocated to the inheritors who could continue the survival of the family and their future. There is a unity of ownership. No person has a definite share as fluctuation keeps happening due to births and deaths in the family. The second thought is the Dayabhaga school of thought. It is based on the Yajnavalkya Smriti, which is interpreted by the Jimvatvana. This school of thought is applicable only in West Bengal and Assam. In this school of thought, the law of inheritance was based on the principle of religious rewards or spiritual benefits. The right of inheriting the property would lie with the person conferring more spiritual benefits. In this school, even females would inherit the property, and the son of the family did not exclusively own the birthright to the property. The son do not acquire any interest by birth in ancestral property, but their right arises after the death of the Karta, which stands for the ultimate head of the family. The son acquires property as heirs and not survivors. The meaning co-partners, the term co-partner, which is mainly used for the member who are the legal successor of the ancestral property. In Mitakshara school, only main members are considered co-partners. After enactment of the Hindu Succession Act 2005, female can also be a co-partner in the ancestral property. In Dayabhaga school, both male and females are co-partners in their father's property. Coparcenaries in Mitakshara school. Coparcenary is a narrow body of person within a joint family. It consists of the father and the next three male lineal ascendants, that is son, son's son and son's son's son. Let's take a case where share of the property is divided between A, B, C and D. All co-partners gets equal share, that is 1/4, and E is not a co-partner as he is the fifth generation of A. Now, if A dies, then BCD gets equal share, that is 1/3 share. If B dies, then ACD gets the 1/3 share of the property, and E is not considered as a co-partner because from A, 4 generation comes till D only. So, E is not a co-partner. Now, let's take another case. Here, A is having two sons, that is B and C. B is having two sons, D and E. C is having one son, F, and E is having one son, G. In this case, if all members are alive, then each co-partner gets an equal share, that is 1/6. If C dies, then A, B, C, D, E, F, G are co-partners and they get an equal amount of share, that is 1/5. Coparcenary is counted till 4th generation from the last owner or the original owner. Only male members of the family were considered to be co-partners. After the enactment of Hindu Succession Act 2005, daughters also became the co-partners like a son. A co-partner has an interest in joint family property by birth, but the interest is flexible and unpredictable, which can be increased by the death of other co-partner and decreased by taking birth of a new co-partner in a joint family. An illegitimate son is not considered as a co-partner in the joint family property. Now, Coparcenary in Dayabhaga school. Dayabhaga school, co-partner's share is fixed. In this school, both daughter, married or unmarried, and son have equal rights. Now, let's take a case where A is having two sons, B and C. In this case, if A is alive, B and C do not have any right on the property. If A dies, then only co-partnership starts between B and C. In this case, if A and B dies, then all property belongs to C. If B and C dies and A is living, then the property would be divided according to the Succession Act. In another case where A is having 3 sons, that is B, C, D. In this case, if B dies before A and is married, then the property would be divided into 3 parts as B is married, so wife and children of B will get his shares. There is no coparcenary consisting of father, son and so on. A coparcenary comes into existence from the first time on the death of the father between his son and daughter when they inherit their father's property. A son has no right by birth in the father's property. It can be self-acquired or ancestral property. A father can dispose of his property as per his own wish, or the property will dissolve according to Hindu Succession Act. Now let's take a case. A is having 3 children, that is B, C and D. B is having 1 child, that is E. C is having 2 childs, F and G. And D is having no child, but here is his widow. Now, if A dies, then B, C, D gets 1/3 share of the property of A. Here, E, F, G and the widow of D not have any ancestral right in A's property. In short, Mitakshara school is applicable all over the India except West Bengal and Assam, and Dayabhaga school is only applicable on West Bengal and Assam. In Mitakshara school, only male members are co-partner. Female became co-partners after enactment of Hindu Succession Act. And in Dayabhaga school, both male and female members are co-partners. In Mitakshara school, the coparcenary is acquired by birth or adoption. In Dayabhaga school, the coparcenary is acquired only after the death of the father. In Mitakshara school, the property is dissolved on the doctrine of survivorship. In case of the death of one co-partner, his share in the property belongs to the other co-partners. In Dayabhaga school, in case of death of one co-partner, his share is given to his legal heirs, that is son, daughter and wife, etc. Thank you.